Hi there and welcome back to Tactical Magfed. This is your first time visiting the channel and you're into all things Magfed Paintball and gear related. Please check out some other videos and playlists. I'm sure if you like this, you're going to like some of those. So welcome to the channel and check it all out. In this video I'm going to be showing you my OnrTigris PJ fast helmet, however you want to describe those, how I've got it set up, some of the features and what I think to it. Also how I run it or plan to run it with a mask. Check it out. Okay, so if I'm going to be showing you my helmet setup, I'm going to need a helmet. Know what time it is? Okay, so here we have my fast helmet, PJ, fast helmet, Emerson, imitation, whatever you want to call it. I'm just going to run through how I've got it set up now. There's one addition that I'm going to add to it, maybe two, depending on what we're going to do. But I'll just go through the features of this particular model, what model it is, and why I got this one and not some of the other ones. Okay. I'll also try, sound permitting, to put the mask on and show you how I'm going to try and wear it without modding the helmet too much, if at all. Okay, so one helmet. Now there are loads of these things on the market at the moment. They range from kind of 12, 14 pounds, you know, 15, 18 dollars, up to the real world kind of ballistic versions, which are way beyond my budget, because no one's actually shooting real bullets at me. So I was kind of looking at a budget end helmet with as many features as possible that I could use for multiple things. Now, some people sort of wear these because they must have the military look. You know, airsoft is kind of used, and they put all sorts of cool attachments on, headphone, ear protectors, and all that kind of crazy stuff, which is cool. You know, I'm not going to be putting real world night vision on here. I might put a strobe on there or something like that. But you know, essentially for me, I wanted a piece of equipment that will protect my head. You know, I didn't want to just buy something that looked the part but didn't actually stop my head getting caved in if I ran into a wall in the dark or something daft like that. And primarily I wanted it to mount a camera onto. So I've got my Gopro Mount on the front here, and I'll go over that in a sec. So yeah, essentially it's a camera mount for me and a protective piece of gear, rather than trying to emulate any kind of military equivalent. And I'm not trying to mimic anything, hence why I've got a banter skull on the back here. You know, I'm not a Mandalorian. I don't think there's any stolen valor for Mandalore at the minute. So, right, okay, so the helmet I went for, this is, I've got it actually came with this Velcro badge on it. It's a OneTigris fast helmet. I believe they call it a PJ fast helmet. And it has an inner frame, adjustable. It has an adjustable back, an inner kind of frame, and lots of adjustable pads in the bottom here. I'll probably pick that up on the camera. The interchangeable pads, they are, I think they're 1/4 inch depth and 1/2 inch depth or something like that. That comes with two sets of pads, and you can interchange them all out to get the right fit for you. And we'll move on to the fit and everything at the minute. We'll just run through kind of my reasons for buying this particular model of fast helmet from this company. I think this was in the £40 region, sort of $50-60 over in the States, and I chose it for a couple of reasons. Originally I wanted to go for a much chunkier, a thicker helmet. It still had the padding and everything in it, but it was a solid shell rather than the style, like the Emerson style, with the ventilation holes in. So it's got this cover on here. Essentially there are a series of holes all around the bottom there. We've got eight sort of oval holes in the bottom of the helmet there. And I used to play with a flex 8, a full head cover flex 8, and wearing something like that, it gets quite hot in the summer months, and it does, you get hot, you fog up and all that kind of stuff. So I kind of wanted, if I'm going to wear a helmet, I wanted something that had some decent ventilation in it. Didn't want a solid helmet, so I went for this one. Wanted something with the adjustable straps and everything in it, because I knew if I'm going to be wearing it with a camera, if there's any weight on it, I wanted something that was going to be sturdy and adjustable and configurable. And I wanted to go with a kind of a brand that I'd heard of. OneTigris are quite a big brand on Amazon and places like that. This is quite a well-known brand, and there were lots of reviews saying that people liked the helmet, this style of helmet. It does have all the usual Velcro stuff under here. I'm not going to take it off because I'm not going to lie to you, it's a pig to put back on, and it's going to be awful sound quality on here if I start ripping all the Velcro off. Rest assured, there are Velcro patches under here. There's patches on the side here. There's a strip that goes all the way across the top, and a band that goes all the way across the back. And it's got all that good stuff on there. So you've got all your Velcro attachments. You've got the rails on the side, all the standard stuff that everyone knows about. You can put on there torches, lights, cameras, headphones, all that stuff. What I've got on here at the minute, I've put this sort of helmet cover on here just to kind of break the helmet up. It is all olive, it's a completely olive helmet, and that it kind of just breaks it up with some of the darker colour on there. You can't, I don't know if you can actually see it, but it is a very dark camo on there. I'll put in the description what style that is, but I can't remember off the top of my head. It's kind of blacks and dark greens and greys and stuff like that, so it does break the helmet up a little bit rather than just being a flat olive, because all my stuff is green, you might notice that. Got a few badges on here. Got the tactical Union Jack on there, my Boris badge, and a Mandalorian Bantha skull on the back. So if you're into morale patches and all that kind of stuff, you've got plenty of opportunities to stick them all over this thing if you want to become a walking target. So moving over to the mount, this is a Surewo mount. It's pretty cool. It just pops it into the attachment, the quick attach on the front. It is a bit loose out the box, so I've stuck some foam pads in here to stop it rattling around, because like I say, predominantly if I'm wearing this out on the field, it will be when I'm shooting camera footage. So I'll have the GoPro on the front. I've covered the GoPro in some fabric, sticky fabric. This is actually KT tape, which is used for treating sports injuries and stuff like that. If you've ever had to use KT tape on your skin, it sticks. It sticks pretty well. Just gives it a nice matte finish. And when I eventually get game footage together and out there, and when I figure out how to successfully do it and get some good video quality, when I'm doing my vanity shots, looking back from the end of the weapon back at me, when I'm going through stuff, I want things to look as least like cameras as possible. You're going to know it's a GoPro stuck on the front of my helmet covered in black tape, but at least it won't be prominent. I'll try to disguise it a little bit on there, and again I'll try and disguise the cameras on the rifle that I carry into like a PEC box and stuff like that. I'm still working on those mounts as we speak. So yeah, that just pops in the front there, and the vat lid. So what I will, when you're recording any footage, when you have cameras on masks, they wobble about and rattle, and the sound on the cameras picks that rattle up really, really clearly. So what I've tried to do is just minimise that. So when I actually run this for real, I'll take the clips out of here. These are all, I don't know if they're blanking clips or if they're actually used, but that's where your headphones and the headsets and stuff click into on there. And that they rattle, so that reduces rattle. And I'll do some more foam work on this so that it will minimise. There is a slight clip there. I have to quite force that to do it. If I'm running, it might do that a little bit, but it's not as bad as if it's mounted on the mask. One other thing to mention as well is when you wear these with goggles, these plastic bits here will be where your goggle systems are, so you've got to be wary that they don't scratch, so the plan is to wrap fabric tape around those as well to protect those. Okay, so where are we at with this? Pads. These pads are really good. You get two sets of these pads. I think they're a 3/4 inch and a 1/2 inch, or 1/4 inch and a 1/2 inch thickness. So you can have a good play around with moving them around. There's Velcro stickers in here that you can attach and reattach these to, like so. I've arranged these ones in here slightly differently, so that big one was normally in the middle there, and there's various ones in here. I've arranged it so I can get the strap of my goggles through this bit here. Effectively, I can put the goggles on, strap sits in there. I can use the tension still on the back of the helmet, which is good. What I'll do in a minute is just put the mask on and show you what it looks like with the mask on there. What a lot of people have been doing with these style helmets is cutting big chunks out of here, so they snap off these plastic runners here, which then renders this tight, the tension bit on the back here useless. So I don't really see the point in doing that myself, unless you've got, it depends on the helmet you've got. This particular one, there's a lot of customization with the pads, so you can effectively shift the helmet around how it sits on your head. And if you do it in a certain way and your goggles facilitate it, you can actually wear these with goggles. I mean, these are intended in the real world, in the military. They are intended to be worn with things like gas masks, night vision goggles, just ordinary sort of goggles as well, to stop sand and dirt and stuff getting in your eyes. So in theory you should be able to use these with some sort of a goggle system. They're designed to be used with gas masks, for instance. So what I'll do is I'll get the my goggle system. You guys know from previous videos that I use the HK Army KLR goggle system. So all I really need is the goggles. Okay, so there was a method in my madness when I bought these goggles. I thought I might want to get a helmet at some point, in time. I've seen a lot of videos of people using things like i4s and stuff like that with helmets like these, and doing big old mods on the foam on the inside of the front of the helmet to allow the goggle system to get up inside. Wasn't really keen on all that, not because I'm precious about modding things, you know I'm not, but more to do with the fact that if your goggles are sitting inside the lip of the helmet, you can be scratching the high heavens out of your lenses. So yeah, I kind of went with the HKs because when you've got them on, they sit relatively level on your face, and they're very close to your eyebrows, if you like. So in realistic terms, they are very much like a normal pair of goggles that may already be used with these. That was the theory anyway. I've yet to use this combination in anger out on the field, but I've been playing around with, so I put the goggles on and kind of make a note of where they go on my forehead, and then I play around with the padding and stuff in here to manipulate the helmet to sit on my head a certain way. So if you, I don't know if you can see, so if you orientate the helmet, let's take the GoPro helmet off for a minute, and the helmet is sort of relatively flat like that, with this earpiece flat. But there is a slight curve there that goes up. So you sit that alongside the goggle system, that goes up at relatively the same rate. So you can sit this together. It's a bit crude. I will put it on, but the audio will be better if I don't wear it at the same time. So that goggle system can sit relatively flush on the helmet like that, without the need to be chopping into it and going up into the lip here. Now, you know, I'm into realistic looking paintball, and the likelihood is that I might end up doing a bit of airsoft at some point. I don't want to have to buy more than one helmet to do more than one thing with. So this is a camera helmet, so I do start doing, you know, proper shooting demos with my paintball gear. I'll be running this helmet as a POV camera whilst I'm doing that, so you get a good idea of what's going on with the shooting stuff. And if I do the same thing with pellet guns, BB guns, airsoft guns, anything like that in the future, I don't want to have another helmet. You pay extra for all these features in here, and then you go cut them out and render them useless when you mod the front frame of this. It is feasible that you could do a little bit out of here, but I'm pretty confident that the way I've done this, I don't have to cut anything. The goggle system fits with the helmet, and the adjuster at the back tightens up and loosens, so I've got that adjustability as well. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to put the mask on and put the helmet on. Audio is going to be a bit crap. I haven't got a lapel mic on with this setup, so I'll just limit what I'm doing. I might do a little bit of an explanation, but we'll see how it goes and see how the audio turns out. So what I tend to do is just loosen this off as much as possible before you get started. And like I said, it's trial and error with this. I've got a combination of a 1/2 inch and a 1/4 inch riser or pad or insert, whatever you want to call these bits in here, and I've manipulated them round to make it so that when it sits on my head, it sits slightly tilted back, so it gives the mask more space to sit under this top bit, so I'd have to get into it. Right, so for now, what we're going to do, excuse the barnet, put the hat cap out of the way, put the mask on. I'm not going to bother doing up the chin strap for the minute, don't really need it. So like I said, I'm going to line the strap up with the gap in the back of the helmet. As you can see, my head is on all of the mounts, it's not resting on the goggles, maybe a little bit but not excessively. And do up the tension in the back of the helmet. There we go, it's all done up nice and tight. There's my... Okay. Can't really see, what I normally do is check on a phone or something like that. How I do, there we go. That's what I was talking about, that was twisted there. You can scratch your goggle. Luckily if you scratch it, it's out of the way, but no one wants to scratch the goggle systems. So I've got my actual chin's there, my beard here, but my actual chin here. Ears all covered, everything's inside, nice and tidy. Don't really know what the clearance is like on the front here. There's a slight gap there, but that's going to help with ventilation and stuff. Might be a bit tight. Loosen it up a bit. There we go. So you can see, got full mobilisation of the head there. If you can see what's going on. Yeah. And there we have it, helmet and mask on, and everything's in there. So it's nice and comfortable, breathable. It's resting a little bit on my nose, but it is comfortable nonetheless. And I've got the camera on the front. Let's have a look. It just sits up just in front of my eye line, so when I'm out there on the gun I can see round there, but yeah, there we go. That'll help. So what you've got is a very modular system there. What that allows me to do, as the mask isn't attached in any way to here. So what you see a lot of people do is they'll cable tie their mask onto their helmet to stop it moving around, or they'll fix it in some way so there's no gap. Nothing's ever going to be perfect. I mean, if I was only ever going to use it for paintball and didn't intend using it for anything else, I'd do that. But in realistic terms, if you're out there and you're filming, you're going to have issues filming. You're going to need to check if things are on the go, if you've run out of SD card space, all that kind of stuff. If the lights are on, if it's on top of your mask, the only real way you can do it is come off the field, take your mask off, check it, put your mask back on, go back out in the field. If it's on a helmet that's detachable from your mask, so you don't have to touch your mask to get your helmet off, it's a lot better situation. One of the things that I'm going to do with this is I'm going to have a Velcro pouch on the back, because I'm going to run a battery on the back here, or power pack. I've got, I think it's a 7600 milliamp power pack that I have for charging things. I'm going to get a nice little Velcro pouch to come back there, slot it in, and then run a cable up through these attachments into the GoPro, so that you get a lot longer battery life. You haven't got to worry about battery within games and everything. It will just, you hit the button, it charges it up. So yeah, I really like that. I like the fact that this is a neat little mask. It's going to take some getting used to, and I may do a slight alteration in there, but nothing as drastic as what you've seen a lot of people do with the i5s, where they really get the mask up into the helmet. And to be fair, I don't think you need that. You just buy a helmet that's got plenty of adjustability on it, and go down that route. Okay, so in summary, the OnrTigris fast helmet, PJ fast helmet. What do I think? I think it's a reasonably priced option for a helmet. It's not ridiculously cheap. The really cheap ones don't have this inner foam frame and inserts. So what you tend to find is they have a thin inner foam layer that sits directly on your head, and then the straps pull that tight. And I think the people that predominantly have those star helmets, the cheaper ones, are the ones that are having to cut lots of the insert foam out because there's no adjustability. Now, what I have found is you can buy all the inserts, so the foam front and all the adjustable back strap and everything. You can buy all that separately, and it will just screw into pretty much any of these style helmets. You take these screws out of the sides, and then you can screw in another set of these. Last time I looked, you can pick them up for about 15 or 16 quid, so about $18–20, and they go into any kind of outer helmet body and make the inside adjustable. You can also buy packs of these inserts with all the sticky Velcro as well. So you can modulate it up, but then again, you're then making a, I don't know, £12, $15, $16 helmet. By the time you've added the inserts and all this, you're going to make it a £30, £40, pound helmet, or $50, $60 helmet. Anyway, so my view is buy the best quality you can, and that you're prepared to mess around with. If you do need to mod it in any way, it's no big shakes. You're not spending I certainly would not recommend spending God knows how much on a more real steel make, like a real Emerson helmet, a ballistic version of this, and then start shopping around with that. Unless you've got lots of money to burn, don't go entertaining any of that kind of stuff. So overall, I'm really happy with it. I'm really happy with this helmet. I think it's going to do well as a camera helmet. I've not really used it out in the field yet, so I can't really give you any honest answers about how hot you get in it. The hotter the day is, the hotter you're going to get. It does have the breathability in here, like we said, with the holes and the mesh. Effectively, the main reason I put this cover on, I said before, is to break up the solid green of the helmet, but also to cover the holes up. So I wanted holes for ventilation, but if you get hit in the head with one of these, it's very unlikely it's going to bounce. It can happen, but it's unlikely. And the cover over the holes for the ventilation will stop the paintballs getting in and splattering in and just messing your do up, messing your hairdo. So have I had any issues so far with it? Only one I've had, and you'll probably see it here, is I've got a broken bungee at the front here. So when I connected on my camera for the first time, I thought, I know what, in the real world those bungees would be used to secure night vision goggles, to give the spring option to hold the night vision goggles up, and when they're down, hold them in place, stop them bouncing around so much. I thought, I'll attach it onto my GoPro. So I dutifully pulled one off and started stretching it to reach it onto my GoPro, messing around, and pulled it off. So this one, this side, the tape isn't holding it together. The tape was to keep the frayed ends together long enough so that I could work it back in. And effectively what I had to do is bend out, this is quite pretty hard steel that has been machined into a spring, into a hook. Bent it out with some pliers, squeezed the bungee cord back through because it kept fraying. I wrapped it with tape and then bent it back round with pliers. So effectively that metal pierces through the bungee, which is how that is under the heat sink that's been put on there. The heat shrink, I don't know, whatever it is. It's plastic that you heat and shrinks around the spring. I've got some spare heat shrink plastic, so I'm going to put some over that and tidy it up at some point, just haven't got around to it. But that's the only issue I have with that, and it's probably more due to the fact that I was trying to do something with it wasn't supposed to do. I was stretching it. What I was trying to do is stretch it all the way up onto here and stop the camera from wobbling around a bit, banging, but it didn't work. Yeah, I'm happy with it. Can't wait to get out and test it. I've got a bit of an issue at the minute with my knee. Torn the cartilage in my knee apparently. So yeah, no running and no jumping around in fields and stuff. Playing paintball for a little while, but I'll make do with putting some content out for you guys. You can see some new gear that I've been buying. Yeah, I'm really impressed with it. I like it. Haven't gone crazy with it. Keeping it nice and simple. Okay, so let's wrap this video up now. I've been rambling on for far too long. Let me know in the comments below if you rock a tactical helmet at all. If you do, have you had to mod it, or do you do a sort of a similar thing to me? You just adjust the helmet and wear it with the mask so you don't have to chop about into the foam. Or if you don't see the point of them. To be fair, you do see a lot of people rocking tactical kit like this just because it's tactical and it looks good. These things do look pretty cool. If you're going down the route of trying to get realistic looking stuff, you might as well get a realistic looking helmet. So yeah, let me know what you think. If you liked the video, please go ahead and hit the like, subscribe, bell notifications, all that good stuff. Got quite a few videos coming out in the not too distant future. Big thank you to everyone who has subscribed already. Can't believe I've hit 150 subscribers already. Thank you very much, and I'll look forward to seeing you in the next video. See ya.